Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Jacob doing a video for the first time since probably almost a year. Yeah, it was probably like in March, maybe February last year. But I have been gone, was deployed, going through a divorce, got back from deployment, trying to get out the Army, and that's what this video is about, the ETS. Basically, for you guys who may not know or might be getting new to the Army or whatever, it means that my time in the Army has come to an end. By choice, my contract expires on April 7th, and I am getting out. I'm not re-enlisting. I'm not staying in. I'll be a month shy of 10 years, which is a long time. So you call it quits, especially 10 years prior to when I could get retirement. But I just find I've done everything I've wanted to do. I've put on a little bit of weight. I'm in pain almost daily for my back, my knee, my feet. I got a whole bunch of mental issues. That's a whole nother thing, right? I'm going through a divorce. It's just time for me to accept that I've done everything, and it's time for me to move on to the next step in my life. All right, it's a perfect time with going through the divorce. If I would re-enlist, I'd have to do another 10 years as of going in def is what it's called, essentially. So it's just good timing. But anyways, so I was deployed, decided not to re-enlist. I'm taking 30 days of leave I have 58 total, but I'm only taking 30 days of leave. So I start leave for 30 days. So I continue getting paid for a month when I'm back home looking for a job or whatever the case may be. So the Army let me come home those 30 days plus 90 days early from deployment. So 120 days early from deployment. I was still deployed for just under 9 months by 1 day. So basically 9 months. Had fun. It was stressful at the beginning. A lot of hours in the beginning. Things seemed to chill out later on during the deployment. But I got to come home. Came home. My future ex-wife was still living in my house, in our house, right? So she needed to find a new place to stay because she's staying in this area for the next 2 years, where I'm going back to Pennsylvania. We currently live in Texas. So we had to deal with, conflict there. She got her things going on with whoever, and I just got back, with 2 kids. And so I have to come back. I put in a request to get my medical records for the VA because I'm filing for disability, which everybody should do, even if you think there's nothing wrong with you, right? You should at least file for what's on your medical record. Put in, if your back's sore, sometimes put that on there. You probably aren't going to get a percentage if it's just a sore back, but you put the stuff on there so that the Army, the VA, is aware that you had these issues. That way, if it does end up being something later on down the road that is, related to your time serving, then you can get it covered for free and you don't have to pay for it. And you shouldn't, because it happened to you while you're serving. And then I started going through the whole process, scheduled what's a 5-day workshop where you learn how to translate your military service to civilian words. Meaning, instead of being an NCO, you were a supervisor or a manager. Instead of saying, referring to your commander as a commander, refer to them as your manager or something along that lines. Sorry about that. Got a call coming in. But teach you how to do a resume, how to edit your resume for specific jobs that you're looking for, how to do an interview, everything like that. Stuff that really should be taught in high school. It's not, unless you take electives and stuff like that. But so I came back, I did everything I needed to do, and I've been in fast pace. I try to designate 4 hours every work day towards knocking out stuff for the Army. And then I use the other 4 hours of the work day for lunch and for getting my kids from school and applying for jobs and starting to clean up my house and pack up stuff, because less than 30 days now, I'll be moving back to PA, Pennsylvania. So I've just been preparing. Lots of job interviews. I got my mole removed. I can see like the little scar that's there. But yeah, I got a sleep study in March. Like I'm just going through, trying to knock out everything. It's a lot of stuff, all right? And it's easy to get overwhelmed. At times I've felt overwhelmed. My stress levels were extremely high coming back for the first few weeks, especially over Christmas time. Jessica, she was my wife. She was still living in our house. But she kept, she's a boyfriend, and she's going over to, her being in a house with me is not a good look on her end, kind of thing. And it just caused a whole bunch of drama. There was drama with the kids. There was just me being stressed out at work. There was just not at work because I'm not really working. But it was like just knocking out stuff I had to knock out, filling out job applications, trying to get the paperwork. I didn't have a Social Security card. I lost it. I had to get a new one, new birth certificate, trying to get the kids' paperwork, trying to get their medical record, just everything. And it can be really overwhelming. And I have anxiety issues. I have depression, and a whole bunch of cuckoo, right? So, I've also been going to appointments, medical appointments, behavioral health appointments, making sure that I'm taken care of as well. And just know that this time is very stressful, but it'll get past. And I'm actually very hopeful. I got a job offer from the post office to be a city delivery. I don't know the exact title, but guys that drive around with those white trucks and put mail in your boxes, right? Pay is 40 to 45. You can just Google that. It's not secretive or anything like that. But I got a job interview yesterday, and I think I did pretty good. And it's actually a sales job. The base pay for the first 3 months is about $3,500 a month. But after the first 3 months, it goes down to $25,000 a year. But you get 10% commission off of all your sales. He pulled up we're out of 26 guys, 22 of them sold over $1 million worth of stuff this year, or 2021, which means they got $100,000 in commission plus their $25,000 a year salary. And it was like 14 people, nearly half, or over half, I guess, actually sold $150,000 or more, which means they made for $1.5 million more, which means they made $150,000 a year in commission plus a $25,000 a year. So I am kind of hoping for that because I can always get a job at the post office. That's secure. That's something I've never done. Sales. I sold nice for Cutco for like 3 days. I did fundraising for a company called Zentel for a few weeks. That's really it. So I haven't really done it, but overall, I've always been told I'm a likable person. I never really have any conflict with people. I can really fit into multiple different kinds of social classes, I guess. Like, I can fit in, And I think that's something that a salesperson can benefit off of. And hopefully, if I get that job, I'll probably take it. And when I go back home, I'll be living with my parents until I can close on a house. Hopefully not too long. Nobody in their early 30s wants to move back with their parents, but I don't want to rent and sign a 6-month lease at the early, the smallest ones you can only sign, or maybe even a 12-month lease, close on a house in 6 months, and then I have to pay the penalty or whatever penalties there are. So yeah, I am taking the kids with me. I'm excited about that. I was, when I decided to get out and we were getting divorced, that I was going to go back home and I was probably not going to have the kids with me, which was upsetting, but it's something that I expected. And I figured I'd see them as often as I could, and I'd see them over summer times and stuff like that. But with Jessica, she's also in the Army. They're looking like she's going to go to someplace for 9 months to a year, sometime within the next 6 to 7 months-ish. So it didn't make sense for me to go there, the kids to stay here, and then, back and forth. So it looks like I'll have the kids for at least 15 months-ish at the least until they come back down here. And I'm really hoping she doesn't stay in the Army, so that way 2 Marches from now she'll be out. So I'll only have to go like 9 months or so next year without the kids, and then they'll be back up in that area. I can only hope. But it's going well, And I just wanted to do this real quick. I just hit the 10-minute mark, and I don't want to make the video longer. But I plan on doing a lot on this channel. But what I want to do is, because I'm going to be working drastically less hours than I've worked in my entire adult life, if I get a job at the post office or at this other place. I thought one way to go about it was to go to school during that time to make up some of that time. But I'm not too sure if I want to do that right away. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a new computer, get a good stand for the phone. I'm not going to buy a camera or anything like that right away. And I'm going to start trying to figure out ways to do reaction videos, watching oversimplified historical things, or watching just random videos. There's a couple channels that I like that, and I feel like, when they're talking, they seem very sometimes not uneducated, but they're he says I'll be rude. What they're watching and what they're experiencing, it's like, and what they're reacting to, it's like they haven't experienced much. I've experienced war. I've been to over half the countries in Europe, several countries in the Middle East and in Asia, and a few countries in Africa. I've never been to South America, but I've been in America and Canada and North America. So, I've been around. I've seen things. I've been married. I've been divorced. I have 2 kids. I've bought new cars. I've bought used cars. I'm going through the process of buying a house. So my experiences are wide. So when it comes to reacting, I feel like I could have more input into stuff than some of these people just being like completely in shock. So just hit the like button, subscribe, especially if you want to watch these upcoming reaction videos. And yeah, just let me know what you think. And I hope if you're going through the ETS process and you're getting out of the Army, hopefully it's on good terms. If it's not, it doesn't matter, man or girl, woman. Just make the correct steps you need to go in life, and everything will balance out. Everything will be okay. You don't have to be in the military to be successful. Now, in the military, the amount of work you do well in garrison for the money you make, especially if you're not in the barracks and stuff, is actually very well. It would be hard to find a job making my income doing the level of work that I do that does not include the field and that does not include deployments. This regular garrison life. During those times, I feel like sometimes we're underpaid. But check back in, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.